Guys, so today I'm going to show you a quick and easy way on how to draw eyes. First, going to go over the structure around the eye, because I think that's really important if you're really trying to draw a realistic eye, is just understanding what surrounds the eyeball itself. If you look closely at my skull here, we got the orbital bone around here. You got to understand, the feel of it, where it peaks from, the way light hits it. We have the eyebrow ridges that stick out, and the eyeball sits right inside of this hole right here. And it sits kind of deeper in where it's protected by the bones around it. You'll know certain highlight points when light hits it. And I don't expect you guys to understand everything I'm saying right now, but that's exactly why I'm gonna show you right away on this drawing. So first things first, we're gonna draw a circle. And this circle is supposed to represent the eyeball itself. Now we're gonna shade the eyeball. If you guys have never shaded a sphere before, I definitely recommend you try it, because I think it's very important in understanding shapes. You might be wondering why I decided to use green for this. I don't honestly know myself why I decided to use green, but it was just laying around and I thought maybe it would look cool. And then we'll make the highlight point right about here. So let's say this is where the light hits. And then we'll say this is like the shadow right here. There you go. So light's coming from up here. How do we find the pupil of the eyeball now? Is we're gonna make a little line like that, and you can guess what this circle is going to be. The circle is going to be the iris area. And you can kind of color this part in. And you know what? We'll color the pupil black just to give it that extra pop that it's an eyeball. So remember how I brought up the skull here? So now this is what we're gonna do. Eyeball sits inside of there. We're gonna make the eye socket around it. And we're gonna shade it too here now, because if light's coming on top and this orbital bone area, it's going to shade the eyeball in because it'll be covering it. And then we'll have, the nose of the skull. I'm just kind of making the skull now around it, just so you guys can get a realistic idea for it. So now that we got that, now you guys can see kind of what I mean by, the eyeball and how it's inside of the skull. Because think about it, if the light is coming from up top, right? Like this. Eyeball is going to be heavily shadowed, so there's not going to be much light hitting the eyeball itself. And the reason I'm doing this right now is just so you guys will understand as soon as I'm done here. Now we're going to draw eyes now, and we're going to put flesh on top of it, and then I'm going to show you guys exactly why I explained to you all this, because for now you'll probably be wondering why the hell does all this matter. And I'm going to show you right now why it all matters. Right now, I'm basically thinking about the bones around the eye. I'm thinking about the structure around the eyeball. Now I'm thinking about the eyelids. Now we're going to do the pupils of the eye. Certain terminologies I'm not going to know, so don't take me as fact, guys. I'm using words like pupil, iris, all this kind of stuff. I don't actually know like the exact technical terms. I just know how to draw them. So don't hold me, don't ostracize me for not knowing this kind of stuff. There we go. So now that I got the general, outline of the eye, now I'm going to show you guys where understanding the structure of the eye matters. So remember when we did this drawing right here, I want you to keep in mind that orbital bone. I'm going to call it an orbital bone. I don't know what the actual name is, but this eyebrow bone, keep that in mind. Look at the eyebrow bone on this. We're going to leave this part highlighted because this is the part that's sticking out. You see that? You see that dark spot right there? Inside of the skull, that area, it goes in, that's why. Right there, we're going to keep dark because of that area right there. Now, the cheekbone comes out like this, right underneath. That will be right here. So I'm going to grab my eraser, and we're just going to erase this part a little bit, like that. Everybody's face is different, obviously, but this will just be kind of like a universal, general way of how to do it. We're probably not going to make too much of the eyelid light, just because this is a more deep set eye. That's what I'm drawing. I know some people's eyes tend to bulge out a bit more. For this one, it is a bit more deep set. Now, when we're doing the eyeball itself, always remember that the eyeball is a sphere. It's a sphere, kind of like when we started this. We started with a sphere. Always keep that in mind. Remember that the eyeball is a sphere. A lot of people, they kind of forget that part, and what ends up happening is they end up making the eye look too flat. They make it end up looking too 2D, because they forget that underneath all of it, it's literally a ball inside of your eye socket. But people forget that. So what ends up happening is you get like that flat look. So to get that 3D look, remember that it's a ball. And how does light hit a ball? How does light hit a sphere? Like that. There we go. Look at that. Look how nice that looks. And then the bottom lid, make it a little bit lighter. Like that. There we go. Look how nice that looks. Look how nice that looks. So you see kind of what I mean, you know, with both the examples I gave with, you know, the eyes. That's why it's important to understand the structure around the eyeball, because once you understand the structure, you can figure out where the highlight points are going to be, like the cheekbones, that orbital bone, where it's going to be dark over there. And it just kind of gives you a better understanding of it, I think. Because I could just go ahead and show you how to draw eyes without explaining the whole structure behind it. But I just think that it'll benefit you a lot more by understanding, you know, everything else. I made the mistake of drawing in the beginning and skipping these steps, and I had to go back and learn them again. So that was it, guys, for this video. I hope it helped, and I'll be making more videos about eyes and stuff like that. I just wanted to cover the basic structure around the eyeball in this video, just so you guys can get a better understanding, and we will go more in detail in the next video. So I'll be going over, you know, going over how to draw eyes from different angles, you know, eyes looking up, looking down, all the other stuff. But I think we needed to start first with just the overall structure, just to learn the foundation, and then we'll get into more detail after. Subscribe to my channel because I will be doing more drawing content. And if you guys don't know, I'm a barber too, so I make barber content. I'll teach you how to cut your own hair at home. I'll teach you how to do your own beard at home, all the other stuff. See you guys next time.